Having a hard time balancing your work with your personal life? Here's what I think about that. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, your go-to place for building your dream career and achieving your highest potential. I'm Allie, and today we have another segment of Q&A Wednesday where I'll be answering one of your questions on anything related to career, work, or leadership. If you have a question for me, then make sure you leave it in the comments below, and maybe it'll be featured on another segment of Q&A Wednesday. Otherwise, let's get started. All right, so I'm sorry. So just for those of you who don't know, this is just the start of Q&A, so a lot of my friends and family, just people in my personal network, are giving me these questions, and many of them don't want to reveal their YouTube names in fear that maybe their employer will find out they're asking these questions. So if you hear one of these wacky names, this is actually from them, and they told this to me personally rather than leaving a comment below. This is actually a reference to Sleepless in Seattle, which I made in another video. Check it out if you haven't seen that yet. Otherwise, we'll get back to the question. Baffled in Bel Air writes, "Hi Allie, I've been having trouble balancing work with my personal life. How can I better manage my time? Love the show. Thanks." Hi Baffled in Bel Air, and thank you for that question. This is something that several workers can relate to. With the changes in the workforce, the work demands that are placed on us are growing and growing and growing. And so what ends up happening is that we don't have enough time in the day to address everything that we need to, or to reach the due dates that are given to us. And so it ends up meaning we have to take our work home with us. This is a problem because not only are you going to experience burnout, but you're also going to have lower satisfaction, you're going to be less motivated, and you're going to start experiencing some physical and mental health symptoms. And as a result of all this misery, you're going to eventually want to leave the workplace. This is a problem and it needs to be changed. So going back to your question, how do we create more time for ourselves? How do we create more time to enjoy our personal lives, to engage in personal activities, to recover from work? The reality is there is no one solution. It really is dependent on several factors, including industry and just the demands of your job. And so rather than focusing on those factors, I'm going to be focusing on the things that you do have control over. And so I'm going to give you my top tips, my advice on what you can do to give yourself a little bit of time, to save time. So my first piece of advice is you need to better manage your time, and the best way to do that is just getting a planner. Better schedule your time. There are also some great online apps that can help you do this on the go on your phone, so it's easy access. So make sure you're actively using those, and I can guarantee you will save yourself a lot of time. My next piece of advice is cut out the distractions. Now, many of us love to take breaks, but sometimes we take a little bit more than we should. Let's be honest with ourselves, whether that be looking at our phone, calling our significant other to talk to them, looking at social media, on YouTube. Cut out those distractions. You'd be surprised about how much time that accumulates. It's not uncommon for people to find out that they're spending 1 to 2 hours easily off of distractions that they should not be doing in the workplace in general. Cut out the distractions. Next, do not be a people pleaser. It is very easy for us to want to help others because helping others can promote several amazing things. It can help us build relationships and also help us get a promotion. But the problem is, if you don't have time, you can't afford to focus on other people's tasks. You have to focus on yourself first, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your work, not your colleagues. Last but not least, you need to create a switch for yourself, a transitional activity that you can do so that when you're switching from work mode to me mode, you can just do it instantaneously. So one of the problems is we go to work for 8 to 9 hours of the day, and we just assume that just by entering our household, we are going to stop thinking about our work. Wrong. That's not what ends up happening. We can still think about some of the issues. If we got into a fight with somebody, we'll still be thinking about that. So what you need to do is you need to create a routine for yourself that triggers to you mentally that you are in a different space and that you are in a different mode. You're in your personal mode, your family mode, whatever it may be. Now, whatever that activity is really dependent on you. Do something that you would naturally do during this time period. So some people, it might be listening to audiobooks in the car, it could be exercising, it can be taking a shower, it can be going to the grocery store. You name it, the sky's the limit. Just think about whatever it is you commonly do during this time and see if you can do it every single day whenever you work, so that way you can just automatically switch off. And that will give you more time to work on yourself. Those are the tips that I have for you. Make sure you try out each one of them and see what works best for you. I promise, once you do these, you'll not only find that you'll save yourself a lot of time, but you're going to reduce the amount of stress you feel, and you're going to be happier with your job. And your family's going to be happier with you because you're spending more time with them. So make sure to give each one a go and see which one works best for you. That's it for today's Q&A. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What works for you? If you have a transitional activity, what is it? I'd love to know. And if you've been burnt out from your job, then make sure you take a look at my tips and tea time video where I give you my top tips on how you can reduce burnout from your job. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're notified of my latest videos. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, where I not only give you latest updates on my channel, but also give you some tips and advice that are not shared on my channel. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure having you today. Take it easy, everyone. Bye.